Hello everyone, my name is Chris Keller and I'm a music producer from Cubase province of Zambia. So welcome to my tutorial section, and today we're just going to try and talk about how you can easily mix female vocals in Cubase 12 Pro. That's one of the latest version, if not the latest version around. So I'm just going to go ahead and play you something that we'll be working on. So I'm going to start by playing the beat alone. So we listen to what we have. Okay, so as you've heard, obviously the beat is louder than the vocals on this track. So the first thing we're going to do is route every vocal into the specific group channels so that we can easily stay organized. So the first thing I'm going to do is create a group channel and make sure the configuration is not on mono, because the effects that we're going to use sound better when they're in stereo. So make sure your configuration there is in stereo, and we're just going to name this, let's keep it Vox for now, and we're going to add 3 tracks. So we have Vox 1, we can rename this to our verse, so this will have all our vocals coming from the verse area, and then this we can rename to mix. This is and then this will just name it as final. So the next thing to do now is to route all the vocal channels from there. As you can tell right now, it's saying stereo out, so we have to route all these channels into this channel. So I'm going to, but in this case we're only going to mix the leading vocal in this chorus. We won't touch the backings. So let me go ahead and highlight the leading vocals on this chorus part area, and then make sure while you're to highlight, hold shift, and make sure while you are highlighting you also click Alt on your PC and come here, click there while you're still holding shift and Alt, and then make sure to press verse. This will route all these vocal channels into the verse group channel. And now what we're going to do is route the verse group channel into the mix group, and then from there we'll route the mix into the final. Okay, so for now I'll mute all the channels that I'm not going to use. So I'll mute this, and I'll mute the backings and the babe channel. Okay, all right. Okay, can even mute this one. Okay, now we're set. Okay, so now after doing that, just to make sure that you did the right thing, I'm going to mute the beat for now and then play the vocals alone. Okay, so as you noticed from this information, this audio is being shown on all these group channels, meaning we did the right thing. So make sure they're showing up, the signal is being shown on all these channels. So from here, the next thing to do is go into the verse channel, open it up, and I'm going to play it. Baby, our love is so natural. I always go mad over you, the way that you do. Okay, so as I mentioned, the vocals were lower than the beat, so the first thing to do now is to add some volume by simply going into this send area and click the stereo out. Once that is done, activate it and you are done. So let's compare the volume now.
that we live. Baby, our love is so natural. I always go mad over you. The way that you treat me, the
So already you can tell that there was, you know, some boost in volume right just by doing that. So that's good, because you always want to lift the volume in small amounts if you want to get clean mixes. So right now I'm just going to go ahead and remove some of the background noise that are being heard in this vocal by using a get, and I recommend using the NS1 by Waves. So we are still in the verse group channel, so let's play that.
that we live. Baby, our love is so natural. I always go mad over you. The way that you treat me, the way that you love me, I always go mad over you. You are the only one I want.
Okay, I think at this stage 10% is somehow enough. We increase it if we need it more clear later on as we add more plugins. So the next thing to do is add a pitch corrector, because to control the pitch in the vocal. So we're going to add auto tune. I recommend using auto tune for artists. And then once it opens up, set the key of the song on this vocal. So on this track, the vocal was being played in G minor, if I'm not mistaken. So let me play it just to confirm.
That we live. Baby, our love is so natural. I always go mad over you. The way that you treat me, the way that you love me, I always go mad over you. You are the only one I want.
Okay, so as you can tell, the key on this auto-tune pitch corrector is correct, and I increase the humanize so that the vocal sounds more, you know, natural. And then I reduce the tracking to 100 to make it more relaxed. And then now, as you could tell, we have some frequencies that need to be cleaned. So to sort that out, we will need to introduce an equalizer, but in this case I won't use a stock plugin. You can use a stock plugin, you know, it's okay, you can still use this area, but for this project I'm going to use an equalizer from the virtual mix rack by Slate Digital. So let me just remove these. Okay, so I'm going to look for an EQ, and I'm going to use a FGN. So let me just play that.
That we live. Baby, our love is so natural. I always go mad over you. The way that you treat me, the way that you love me, I always go mad over you. You are the only one I want. I only wanna care for. Go see ya, baby, never my one. So I always be your hero. Baby, our love is so natural. I always go mad over you.
Okay, I'm going to leave it at 200. This is a lot of cutting, I know, but you soon understand once I'm done with everything. We're going to bring back some of those cut out lows in the vocal. So from here we're going to go to our low mids and boost some 200 Hz there to bring back some of that lost body in the vocal.
That we live. Baby, our love is so natural. I always go mad over you. The way that you treat me, the way that you love me.
I think some of that is okay, and then cut out some mids there.
That we live. Baby, our love is so natural. I always go mad over you. The way that you treat me, the way that you.
And then we're going to cut out some 3000 to 3.2K.
That we live. Baby, our love is so natural. I always go mad over you. That we live. Baby, our love is so natural. I always go mad over you. The way that you treat.
Okay, and then I'm going to boost back some highs to bring back to add some presence to the vocal and some air, a bit of air.
That we live. Baby, our love is so natural. I always go mad over you. The way that you treat me, the way.
Okay, so let's just bypass this and see the difference. So this is off. All right, let me bypass it from there.
how we live. Babe, our love is so natural. I always go mad over you. The way that you treat me, the way that you love me, I always go mad over you.
Awesome. I'm sure if you're using the right pair of headsets, you must have noticed the how much cleaner and more clear the vocal became. So that's what you need to do. Just slight changes make a big difference most of the time. So let me just mute the vocal beat before this. Okay, so right now let's try to play it with the beat. Okay, so the vocal is okay, but as you can tell, it's still low. So to increase the volume on the vocal, I'll introduce a compressor, dynamic compressor, excuse me, and we're going to use the FG116, and we'll use a fast attack. Okay, let me try to increase it first. So as you can tell, the vocal became loud, but then as you can see, there's no activity on this meter, so that means it's not really active enough yet. So we need to increase the attack on this, because it means that the attack on this vocal is very slow.
Babe, our love is so natural. I always go mad over you. The way that you treat me, the way that you love me, I always go mad over you. You are the only one I want.
Okay, that's good. So you obviously notice it moved, and it moved because it was trying to maintain the high peaks in the vocal. It was cutting them down to a level that was consistent, so that you don't have to have those drastic increase in volume. So this is why we need a compressor to make sure that the vocal is consistent on most areas. So I'll leave it there for now at 24, and then introduce probably what is it? I don't know how you pronounce it. A revolver. Where you at? Okay, so add a revolver just to add some of that body, in the vocal. So some thickness to it.
Babe, our love is so natural. I always go mad over you. The way that you treat me, the way that you love me, I always go mad over you. You are the only one I want. I only wanna care for. We see a baby, if I'm a one. So I always be a hero, babe.
Okay, so that's good, but if you notice, let me switch off the beat. If you notice, right now we've introduced a lot of sibilants on the vocal, so we'll need to bring in a de-esser to control some of those unwanted sibilants in the vocal. So let me try to bring in the fab filter. Okay, I'm going to use the stock plugin by Cubase, the de-esser, and then just lift the reduction all the way up. Let's into that. First of all, let me mute it.
Babe, our love is so natural. I always go mad over you. The way that you treat me, the way that you love me, I always go mad over you. You are the only one I want. Babe, our love is so natural. I always go mad over you. The way that you treat me, the way that you love me, I always go mad over you. You are the only one I want.
Okay, I just want to compare how this other fab filter will work, and we'll see which one will sound better. So this is de-esser by fab filter.
Babe, our love is so natural. I always go mad over you. The way that you treat me, the way that you love me, I always go mad over you. You are the only one I want. I only wanna care for. Even if I'm a one, so I always be your hero. Babe, our love is so natural. I always go.
Okay, I think I love the fab filter de-esser more. So from here, I'm just going to go into the mix channel and reduce. Let me play with the beat again.
Babe, our love is so natural. I always go mad over you.
Okay, now I'm going to bring in the vocal plugin by Chris Lord. Where you at? Okay, it's here. Okay, but before I do that, let me mute it for now. I'm still hearing some, you know, lows in the vocal, and I'm sure it will appear from here. So let's play that again without the beat in the vocal.
Babe, our love is so natural.
So as you can see, this area is showing some presence of lows in there that were introduced because of the boosting and everything. So we need to take care of that. We need to cut it out.
Babe, our love is so
So we're going to activate this low band and choose the high pass filter, and then just increase this oil up all the way to around 5.
Babe, our love is so natural. I always go mad over you.
So as you notice, just by doing that, that low presence that we were seeing before, this one,
babe, our love is
this
so natural,
has now disappeared just by doing that.
Babe, our love is so
we've basically cut off some of those lows that we didn't want to be present in the vocal. So now we're going to cut out some mids also in this vocal.
Babe, our love is so natural. I always go mad over you. The way that you treat me, the way that you love me, I always go mad over you. You are the only one I want. I only wanna care for. Kukusi up, baby, never my one. So I always be your hero.
Just to take care of those, you know, the boxiness in the vocal. So this is what I did, why I did that, to cut out some of those unwanted boxiness in the vocal. So the next thing I'm going to do is cut out some maybe 4K somewhere there.
Babe, our love is so natural. I always go mad over you. The way that you treat me, the way that you love me, I always go mad over you. You are the only one I want. I only wanna care for. Kukusi up. Babe, our love is so natural. I always go mad over you. The way that you treat me, the way that you love me, I always go mad over you. You are the only one I want. I only wanna care for. Kukusi up, baby, never my one. So I always be your hero, babe.
Okay, that's good. Let me just add the GS because I noticed I'm still hearing some unwanted sibilance in the vocal. So I'm going to put this now before the auto tune, and let's listen to that.
Babe, our love is so natural. I always go mad over you. The way that you treat me, the way that you love me, I always go mad over you. You are the only one I want. I only wanna care for. Kukusi up, baby, never my one.
Okay, that's much better. So now the next thing we're going to do is introduce the vocal effect by Chris Lord. So here we are, and then mute everything you know, that is activated. We can leave the byte on. Okay, let's keep it off, then switch on the bass. Let's see how much we can cut off from there again.
Babe, our love is so natural. I always go mad over you. The way that you treat me, the way that you love me, I always go mad over you. You are the only.
Switch on some byte, some treble.
Babe, our love is so natural. I always go mad over you.
Okay, I like this. Let me just try to introduce okay, let me go back to that same plugin. Where is it? Where you at? Okay, so let me switch on now the compressor to make it louder, but to do this, let me play the beats together.
Babe, our love is so natural. I always go mad over you. The way that you treat me, the way that you love me, I always go mad over you. You are the only one I want. I only wanna care for. Kukusi up, baby, never my one. So I always be a hero. Baby, our love is so natural. I always go mad over you. The way that you treat me, the way that you love me, I always go mad over you. You are the only one I want. I only wanna care for. We'll see ya, baby, never my one. So I always be your hero. Baby, our love is so natural. I always go mad over you. The way that you treat me, the way that you love me, I always go mad over you. You are the only one I want. I only wanna care for. Go see ya, baby, never my one. So I always be your hero. Baby, our love is so natural. I always go mad over you. The way that you treat me, the way that you love me, I always go mad over you. You are the only one I want. I only wanna care for.
Okay, I like what I'm hearing, but I'm sure you've also noticed, you know, like we still need some presence in the vocal, some air on it. So I'm going to add an EQ just before this plugin. EQ. My personal favorite for this is, you know, the RS56, and then in here you can go check out this preset called male vocal boost, you know. So let's play that.
Babe, our love is so natural. I always go mad over you. The way that you treat me, the way that you love me, I always go mad over you. You are the only one I want. I only wanna care for. We'll see ya, baby, never my one. So I always be a hero, baby.
So I reduced the highs there to about 4 dBs, you know. So that was a 4 dB boost, high boost, which is this basically. So in here we also have a 3 dB boost in the 200, you know, just to keep the, you know, the vocal a bit more, you know, thick, you know, like the body of it. So now that we have that, I'm just going to reduce this volume a bit down. Maybe -2 will do for now.
Babe, our love is so natural. I always go mad over you. The way that you treat me, the way that you love me, I always go mad over you. You are the only one I want. I only wanna care for. We'll see ya, baby, never my one. So I always be a hero, baby.
Yeah, I like that. So the next thing that we can do from here is probably add a delay right before the vocal plugin by Chris Lord, and then I'm going to use the ping pong. So let me just, okay, it's already okay. Let me solo this up. Let's listen to that, and I'm going to use the 1/8 note delay style. Let's listen to that.
Baby, our love is so natural. Always goes mad over you. The way that you love me, I always go mad over you. You are the only one I want. I only wanna care for. We'll see ya, baby, never my one. So I always be a hero. Baby, our love is so natural. I always go mad over you. The way that you treat me, the way that you love me, I always go mad over you. You are the only one I want. I only wanna care for. Go see ya, baby, never my one. So I always be a hero. Baby, our love is so natural. I always go mad over you. The way that
I know, right? Yeah, dope. So let's listen to that with the bit and see what we have now.
Babe, our love is so natural. I always go mad over you. The way that you treat me, the way that you love me, I always go mad over you. You are the only one I want. I only wanna care for. We'll see ya, baby, never my one. So I always be a hero.
Okay, that's dope. And basically just doing that, I don't know about you, but you can end here, though everything else that you can add to this is simply optional, you know. Like I can add some flanger, you know, like you can try out some flanger, like let's try it out, we see how it comes out. So let's look for a flanger. So I usually put most effects like delay, flangers, and those stuff like that before the vocal plugin, you know. So we're just basically adding this just to add some of that juice to it, you know. So but in this case we'll be adding very low amount. So let's listen to that.
Babe, our love is so natural. I always go mad over over you. The way that you treat me, the way that you love me, I always go mad over you. You are the only one I want. I only wanna care for. We see your baby, never my one. So I always be a hero. Baby, our love is so natural. I always go mad over you. The way that you treat me, the way that you love me, I always go mad over you. You are the
Okay, that's dope. Let me try to add. I think from here, the next thing, I think that's okay for now. So the only thing probably that I'll add is this. You know, in the final group channel is usually the SSL compressor. And I usually use the mastering preset. You know, so let's listen to it.
Babe, our love is so natural. I always go mad over you. The way that you treat me, the way that you love me, I always go mad over you. You are the only one.
Okay, that's dope. And then I'm going to add the L2 just to control, to mix, you know, to help the vocal stay consistent, you know, throughout, you know. So let's play that.
Babe, our love is so natural. I always go mad over you. The way that you treat me, the way that you love me, I always go mad over you. You are the only one I want. I only wanna care for. We see your baby, never my one. So I always be a hero.
Okay, so I've noticed some parts are going a bit low, so I'll add the arrow vox just to make the vocal a bit loud.
Babe, our love is so natural. I always go mad over you. The way that you treat me, the way that you love me, I always go mad over you. You are the only one I want. I only wanna care for. We see your baby, never my one. So I always be a hero. Babe, our love is so natural. I always go mad over you. The way that you treat me, the way that you love me, I always go mad over you. You are the only one I want. I only wanna care for. We see your baby, never my one. So I always be a hero. Baby. Babe, our love is so natural. I always go mad over you. The way that you treat me, the way that you love me.
So basically, like I said, there are a lot of things that you can do to make your vocal sound better, louder, you know, and these are some of the main steps that you can try out. So hope you learned something from my tutorials, and catch you next time.